Hey guys, Evan here. How are you all doing today? So guys, a lot of you have been asking me about my addons and how I configure them to the way I have them. So I'm going to tell you guys all that right now in this video today. So first up, we're going to get straight into addons. The first addon I have is called Addon Control Panel, and what this addon does is basically gives you an addons button on your game menu. Just click on addons and allows you to select and deselect any of your addons. Click Reload UI and it will basically change all your addons for you without having to log out of the game. It's a cool little add-on. It is pretty good for you, and there's no installation. You just put it in your folder and you're good to go. Okay, so guys, the next add-on is Battleground targets. Now, this add-on doesn't require any installation configuration. Just install the add-ons folder, and basically all you do to configure this add-on is you would set your role, specialization, class icon, realm, and target count, target, and flag orb. And basically what this will do is leave everything, all these dots will all be automatically set to that. And what we'll do is it will give you this interface on the right hand side here, you guys can see. Now you can move it around if you want to. I'm just going to leave where it is because that's where I usually have it set. And all it does is the first row will show you what your tank, healer, or DPS. The second row will show you your spec. The third row will then show you your class. Also, as you guys can see on the right here, we've got zeros all the way down. Now what this does is if say 5 people on your team are targeting that person, it will show 5. If there's only 4 targeting 4, 3, 2, whatever, etc. Now, this is a good way of knowing if you're a target core in RBG, whether they have all targeting your current target that you told them to. Let's say you say, get on the priest. The priest is almost dead. You only see 2 people targeting. Look, you know your team's not doing their job. But generally what this means is the part in here, it shows you the text for the health, and it's grayed out. The part that's grayed out obviously is the health that's taken off and just what health they have left. So let's say you're on the shaman and all of a sudden you see that this monk down here is really low. You can switch to the monk. You obviously wouldn't because he's brewmaster. You probably switch to the mystery where it's really low here. You can just kill them basically, and I find this add-on very useful. The next add-on is called Extra CD. This add-on doesn't require any configuration. You just install it and it's good to go. Just basically gives you a bar for your trinket proc and for your weapon proc. Just allows you to time your burst around your trinket proc and weapon proc for extra damage. As well as that, you can move it around the screen whenever you want, but I like to have it just here because it's close to me and I can see where it is. And the next add-on is called Gladius X, and what Gladius X does is a different version of Gladius, and as you guys see on the left here, it does pretty much all the things that Gladius does. It shows your trinket, the health and all that good stuff, but it also shows any cooldowns you've used. As you guys can see down underneath, there's a few cooldowns for ferals there. And it also shows on the left what spells are currently casted, like as you cast Carform, Rake, Rip there, Bash, you know, as you can see. And on the left there also sees 4, 3, 2 for Shockwave. That shows the DR of stuns, tells you when that comes off. And this add-on actually has no setup. It's pretty cool like that. As you guys see, you use the cooldown there, use Bash and something else came up. It shows all the good stuff and it shows when they're casting and stuff like that, just like Gladius does. It's a pretty cool add-on as you can see, and I quite like it. As you guys are also seeing around me, there's a little proc, and it shows when I get my weapon proc from my execute basically. And I'll show you how to set that add-on in a sec, but it gives a little cool font, and as you guys can see the little thing going around me, the glow. It's pretty awesome like that. And the next add-on, as you guys can see, is this text around the character. It shows my font, and my font is different from the standard Blizzard UI one, as you guys can see. And we're going to go through all 3 of these add-ons in a sec. Alright, so for the first add-on, Gladius X, there's no installation. Just basically install the add-on like you normally would. Unlock the frames, move it where you want on the screen, lock the frames, okay, and you're good to go. And next add-on after that was Power's Classic. Now what this add-on basically does is, it will show a text on your screen. So, just set up everything I have on the screen as it is. Not really much to set up. And you click Show Aura Browser. Now, what you would do when you click Show Aura Browser is, you would have this little thing here. And the way you do that is, you would like basically find out the name of the proc. So, let's go here and you guys are going to see the proc, right? When it procs, we're going to wait for the execute, and it's called Sudden Death. Once you've found out the name, all you would do is you go to New if you haven't got one already. But since I have one, I'm going to edit just to show you. And it will bring up this interface. Now, down the very bottom, you will see activation by. You will click here and you will select buff. Now, you will leave it with the minus equals 0 because that just basically means an infinite thing. So whenever it procs, it will come up. And you will type in Sudden Death. Make sure you use the capitals or it won't work. I just have everything down the bottom here set as is. I've got it set just so everything procs when you want it to. And you're good to go basically. It should come up here. Now, what you want to do is up here at the very top you see the glowy thing. all you have to do to change that is you will go to texture here and you just click on this to change it to whatever you want. I have it set to this one here, and I changed the octave speed to a little bit less than, so it's not too much in the way, 84%. And just under here you can move it around the screen, set the size, the position on the Y and X to where you want it on the screen, and you're good to go. Obviously you want to, the size will make it smaller or bigger. So it's a pretty cool add-on, as you guys see when it procs on my screen. It looks pretty awesome, and it lets you know when you're actually procs. Next add-on is called GD font, and what it does is it changes the text. As you guys can see, we've got like a Pepsi kind of look. That's what the font I have is called, Pepsi. Now all you do to do that is you will go to a font site, download any font you want, and just go into this folder here, which I'll show you guys in a second. So you will go into your interface add-ons folder and you will locate the folder, which is GD font. You will then click on fonts and you'll see a font called Sucre. Now I've already done this, so I'll just show you what I did. As you guys can see, this is the Pepsi font that you're seeing on screen, and it's called Pepsi, as you see at the top left hand corner here. Now what you would do is you would get the folder from the font that you got and you would move it into this file. Now you see the install button here, you won't click that just yet. First off, you will delete the Sucre file, but before you delete it, make sure you right click and press rename, copy the name, then delete it. Then you'll rename your current font, whatever which font you had, to Sucre. Then you will double click on it and you will press install. Close it, close the folder, and log the game, and your add-on should be working for you. It's pretty awesome. The add-on's out of date, but it still works even for a current expansion, so it's pretty awesome. The next add-on is called Mixed Scroll and Battle Text. This add-on does a few things, but I only have it set for 2 things, which is at the top of my screen. I will show you guys now. We're going to interface add-ons. We'll go to configure scroll areas and click on the top one. So if we click preview at the top, it will show a notification, and when that notification is, it will show you when I get a killing blow. It will say get wrecked near it and it'll have their name in it. So how I configure that is on the right. As you guys can see, this is all the settings for it, and if you want to do that for all the other ones, you can as well. Down here, outgoing, here's the other one. This is the only tool that I use, and it will show you all this stuff here. You just edit that for the outgoing as well, which is the damage text going up and down, as you guys see when I click the preview just on the bottom. Basically this add-on can do a lot of other things, but I have the incoming and static turned off and notification outgoing selected. Now you can change the font in here to what you want. You can change to where I've got there if you want, and the same with the outgoing by clicking the A. Now you can configure the scroll names here if you want to change them just by clicking that. Now what you do basically, you don't really need to do incoming player or pet or outgoing pet. Just the outgoing player and notification, they're the 2 that I have selected. So you will have all this selected. You wouldn't even change any of that, leave it as it is. But for notification, what you want to do is you want to go all the way around the bottom. You want to disable everything except for the player killing blows and player NPC killing blows. And you would just go to A. You would have your settings set to like this, like just the way I've got. And all you would do to make this font is, all I have is %n, which is the player's name. It will say the player's name because of %n in the brackets, and it says get wrecked nerd, and that's pretty much it. You can set it up like that and you're good to go pretty much. The rest of it doesn't really matter. I have all the triggers turned off as well because it procs a lot of shit on your screen that you don't really want, and you're pretty much good to go. Just set your name up, profile, you can change the fonts here, the master font as well, and you're good to go, man. That's pretty much it. The add-on's pretty complex, but at the same time it's a lot of fun. I'll show you actually me killing a blow on someone in a sec. So I'm going to charge this guy over here, and as you guys can see above my head, Gloomslay Fungi, get wrecked nerd. The next add-on is called Quartz Tree, and it's a cast bar add-on. And basically what you will do is if you click on toggle lock bar, it will show you all of the bars that I have on my screen. Now ideally the way I have it set up, I'll tell you in a sec, but you can set it for your target's cast bar, your focus cast bar, the player cast bar, which is your cast bar, and your pet's cast bar. Now I have it currently disabled for my target's cast bar because I like the standard Blizzard one. Where I have the cast bar for myself down the bottom here, pet one doesn't mark because I don't have a pet, and my focus one isn't big so I can see when my focus target is casting a spell, which allows me to charge and pummel or interrupt any of the casts that they may do. Now I'll show you guys how to set that up. So we're going to go into interface here, and we're going to scroll down. Now you want to click here on player first. Now you would just enable it obviously, and you would set the height and width and all, move it to here down the bottom. Don't worry about anything else. Disable all the stuff, just make sure it's all clicked. Target though, I have it disabled because my target I don't want it set, and I have everything unclicked so it doesn't show. Whereas for my focus, I have it enabled obviously, and I set the height and width to pretty big and scaled it up pretty high. All the adjusting things here right in this little section here, and I just have it that big because I want to. And you can move it around yourself by dragging it, I think, but if you can't, you just use the little scale things here. Well, I actually can move it there, but yeah, that's how I have it set there, and I'll quickly go through the rest of them so you guys can disable and enable whatever you want. So I'm going to show you it in action. So I'm going to set my focus to this, to myself, just so you can see me actually casting. Alright, so we're going to target this, and then you're going to see my focus cast. I'm going to use spec for shatter now really quickly. Where's my shattering throw? Spec it really quickly. So when I cast shattering throw, you'll see it casting a big cast. You see the side? It's really big. Now if I target myself and I cast, I will see a cast bar, but obviously I can't do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's a pretty cool add-on like that. And as you've seen down the bottom, it also shows my cast bar as well. It's a cool add-on like that. And next add-on I have is Recount. Now it doesn't actually have many PvP uses, but it does show you a bit of your damage, which is kind of cool. It's mostly a PvE add-on, but I don't know why. I've never stopped using it. I just always have had it there. It's a good little add-on anyways. It just shows your damage and shows anyone in your party's damage as well. So, I mean, I like it. And finally guys, the last add-on is tidy plates. Now the way you would set this add-on up, guys, is you will basically have grey for both, damage for both, and no animation for both. Make sure both of these are disabled on the bottom, and you don't worry about tank one. You want to click on the healer one either. You just want to click on the damage. Now all you will have to do is set it to all NPCs, pretty much have you set how I have. Players, these are a bit not as important. Just make sure it's all set, threat by your action, whatever. None of these are really that important. I'm going to go down to the important stuff, and it's here. You make sure you have it by threat, and make sure the friendly spotlight is none. You set the spotlight occupancy to 24%. You set the current target occupancy to 100%, and non-target occupancy to 25%. Make sure all these are deselected. Next, you will go down to your normal scale and scale that to about 108%. Make sure that's by threat, and make sure this is set to 94%. Make sure all these are unselected apart from the auto scale mini thing. Then you'll come down here and you will set your filter for when you're taking damage, and you would set it to 100% for filtered occupancy, and then the 75% for the non-filtered. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much the add-on. And what the add-on does is, as you guys can see, look above their targets, you can see health bars, and it just shows the health bars of the current targets. And if I put any bleeds on them, or a charge, and you'll see the debuffs above their head. So it's pretty cool like that, and it just shows you all that good stuff. And that's pretty much how you set it up, and it's generally good for me. I like it. I mean, it shows all my debuffs on my target, so I don't have to have a big massive thing on my screen, and it looks pretty as well. I also have it set, as you guys see, the current active speed. The target can't really see you over here, but when you click on it, the other one phases out, and when you click on this one, the other one phases out. So that's pretty much how you set the add-on up and what it does. So yeah guys, anyways, that was all my add-ons. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a bit long, but I wanted to go into a bit detail how to install all my add-ons and stuff like that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching, guys. And as always, guys, this is Evylyn out. I love you all. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.